Atlanta, the city, went ahead and approved Cop City funding to a tune higher than they originally agreed. Community outraged, of course. Protesters were there until the wee hours of the morning, trying to talk some sense into the members of council. We covered this extensively. So here's what I'm going to do. Remember the raid that took place of those who are on the board of directors for a bond nonprofit, a nonprofit that raised money to get folk out of jail? Well, they're going on record. Here it is.
Marlon is with the Atlanta Solidarity Fund, one of the 3 people arrested on Wednesday. This was just days before this critical Atlanta City Council vote, where they voted to approve what's now more than double the amount originally proposed for this police facility. Marlon, if you can talk about, how unusual the level of force used was in this raid on the Atlanta fund, which not only has helped people who've been arrested around the Cop City, but you do this around for many people who have been arrested.
Absolutely. Yeah, in terms of the raid, it was terrifying, obviously. And you'll have to forgive my voice. I'm still feeling the effects of the better half of a week in the Cobb County jail. But, we woke up to the sound of our door being broken down by a battering ram and our house being surrounded by dozens of SWAT officers. And my first reaction was that this has to be a mistake. Naively, I thought this wasn't the kind of thing that could happen to organizers like us. But once I saw the automatic weapons, the body armor, and I heard police discussing throwing a flashbang into our living room, I realized that these police had come prepared to kill us. In the same way that police have come prepared to kill activists protesting in the forest, and in fact did kill Manuel Tortuguita Terán. So we quickly surrendered. We were arrested in our pajamas and taken to jail. So the experience was terrifying on 2 different levels. In this immediate way of what it was like to face that kind of police violence for doing nothing more than nonviolent work to support the rights of protesters, but also on this higher level of what it means, right? Because if this kind of police violence can be brought even against organizers like us who do nothing more than make sure that activists have access to lawyers, who make sure that they're able to make bail if they can't afford it themselves.
Last week when this happened, I clearly took a stand in defense of those board members, not simply because of the narrative, but because I've worked with them. When Rashad Brooks was killed in Atlanta, Georgia, it was the Atlanta Solidarity Fund that coordinated with myself, the NAACP and others, to make sure that activists who were arrested for civil disobedience had access to not only bond money, but also attorneys. Virtually all of those charges were eventually dropped. So the punishment, the penalty would have been them staying in jail because they did not have bond money. I remember one incident where we're going to the jail. It's about 2 o'clock in the morning. We're going back and forth to the jail, trying to make sure people are able to get home. Some of them didn't even have transportation. I tried to slip one of the Atlanta Solidarity Fund people a $100 bill just to say thank you. They said, no, Doc, that needs to go to the fund. So I knew it was BS when it happened, because these individuals are true believers. But think about how extreme this is. Now, Sunday, after this raid, after the arrest, on Sunday, I get alerted. There's a tape, Doc. There's a tape of officers telling the truth about what went down. Here's that tape.
Anybody else think that warrant that they served today and the arrest are just guaranteed shenanigans next Monday and Tuesday?
Yep. Actually, maybe tomorrow.
I think they're supposed to have their first appearance tomorrow. I'm here for all of it. Matter of fact, just do it all June. Trying to get my backyard done. I mean, it could go the opposite way. I mean, we've been putting pressure on them and attacking them from all different angles. At some point, they've got to give up. I mean, especially if we're going after all the money. It could shut them down. Yeah, I'm just waiting. Like, couldn't they wait until, like, Wednesday of next week to do this? Is that when you're off? No, that's when the finance committee would have been done. Would have been done by Wednesday. Okay. Oh, no, they had to send a message. I get it, but I mean, think about it. If they had just defeated the thing in council, which, if they're going to vote for the money and everything's going to go through, and then the coup de grace is, right after you failed 2 days in a row, we serve a warrant on you. True, that's what they did the last go around. I guess they wanted to, go ahead and get it over with. I guess they thought it was going on in the offensive.
The police know the police are targeting protesters. The police said they need to give up. We've been pounding. It's been an aggressive attack. No, you all need to give up. Now, the judge who was responsible for setting the bond for the Solidarity Fund board members said in open court, I'm very unimpressed with your evidence. And even said he believes this could be a potential freedom of speech violation, talking against the government. Put him up full mass, right? My dear brother, Reverend James Woodall, good friend of mine, former president of the state NAACP for Georgia, is now with the Southern Center for Human Rights. He spoke at the city council meeting as well as Atlanta Solidarity Fund organizer Marlon Couts. That's who you just saw. One of the 3 people arrested in the SWAT raid. The charges are malicious political prosecutions with the intent to suppress a political movement, is what my brother said. This is something that we've seen before, and it requires a strength uncommon in order to fight them. Now, there are many leaders on Atlanta City Council. They are afraid of the police. Look at what they're willing to do. They're afraid of the GBI. Look at what they're willing to do. If you're scared, do not sign up to be a damn leader. The people you represent deserve more than your cowardice. Cenk, thoughts?
Yeah, I'm amused by the right wing that thinks that the cops are targeting them now. No, this is what cops targeting you looks like. Okay,
that's right.
And it's exactly what the left wing and African American groups have been dealing with for now, centuries? And so this is yet the latest example. We ask for reform, and what we get is extra funding for the police and extra SWAT teams invading the homes of people who are just looking to provide legal help, nonviolent help.
Yep.
And as your tapes showed, devastatingly, they knew it. They're clearly targeting them for their ideology and not because they're concerned about law enforcement. So that's as bad as it gets.
It really is. You don't get. I had a judge call me, Cenk, and to say that is the scariest thing in the world, right there. That conspiracy to come after individuals who simply are exercising their right.